Hey guys, welcome to Flat Top King. We just did a highly requested Croque Monsieur and a Croque Madame. We used the Weber griddle insert today. If you guys want to see how we just made this hammy, cheesy, gooey, and buttery style sandwich, here we go. All right, we have had several people in the griddle group on Facebook ask about the griddle insert from Weber. Ironically, we have one. We've done several videos on it. So I thought we'd recap and go back through it and show you guys what it's all about. The perfect recipe, in my opinion, is kind of similar to this. The Croque Monsieur or the Croque Madame. However you want to pronounce it, that's what we're doing. Both are very, very similar. Honestly, 95% the same. The difference is on the Croque Madame, you add an over easy or poached egg, and that's what we're going to do today. The Croque Monsieur and the Croque Madame. I do have the 4-burner. I know the 3-burner is a little bit more common, but inside you see that we have the griddle plate. Back here is our grease trap, and we're just letting it heat up right now. We have a lot of things to go over and get to. Why do I think this is a great addition to do this recipe? Because you need a burner. You need to make like a roux, you need to make a bechamel, and with the addition of the side burner, we'll be able to do that. All right, we have some gruyere cheese and some Parmesan cheese. We're going to be using the gruyere cheese a little bit later in a different video, so I'm going to go ahead and grate the whole thing. Cheese is grated. Into a bowl it goes. Save for later. I could have got a bigger bowl, but that'd have been too hard. That's perfect amount right there. Look at that. Exactly how you want your cheese in a bowl. I'm not going to run this Parmesan cheese through the cheese grater because it's a little bit thicker than what I want. I want a little finer grade. So thick grade, little grade. That should work right there. That amount right there should be perfect. All right, one twist I'm making. I thought a little rustic bread sounded good. Traditionally, it's called a pain de mie, which basically translates roughly to like a crusty bread, right? Like a white crusty bread. Sometimes people would actually trim the edges off. It's a lot more considered, how would you put it in our terms? Like American sliced white bread. Sandwich bread, perfect. Like just a square style. I want a little bit more rustic. I want a little bit more heartier bread, so that's what we got today. So this is just like a rustic loaf of white bread.
It smells amazing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to eyeball it here. I'm not gonna go too thick on it, but I did want something just a little bit more hearty, a little bit more porous, and I like the crust, so I'll leave the crust on. This is one of those recipes where you can just make it however way you want it. We're gonna use the side burner on the Weber. Now this does run extremely hot, just to be careful. So just because it's on low doesn't mean that it can't scream. Bechamel. I would like to know in the comments how many people actually know a true bechamel and put nutmeg in it at home. It seems like it's probably, in my honest opinion, the forgotten ingredient. Typically you'd have fresh nutmeg and it just makes the flavors quote unquote pop. I don't think I've ever had fresh nutmeg in my house. Now we've had it at the restaurant, and I cuss myself for not having it, but it always seems like an ingredient I always just omit. So just to be honest, just comment below, do you actually put nutmeg, fresh or like this, inside your bechamel? Bechamel is basically just your mother sauce, one of the 5 mother sauces. Cream, butter, and flour. Pan's warming up. We got about 2 tablespoons of butter. While we're making our bechamel, I'm gonna open this up. You see we got the griddle plate in there. I'm gonna dry toast our bread on both sides. Equal parts flour. And we're just going to cook the rawness off. You don't want to cook it too long, but just cook that raw taste right out of it. Maybe about 2 minutes.
So is that 2 tablespoons butter and 2 tablespoons flour?
Yes. Yep. 1-to-1 ratio. See how I move the pan off the heat? We teach that a lot about griddling. Sometimes you got to cook off the heat to get your temperatures. This thing cooks so hot that just moving your pan off the heat stops it from burning. We're gonna start with a cup of half and half. You can use milk, whole milk. Don't want to season yet until all your ingredients have been added. Like if you need to add more milk, because if you salt and pepper and nutmeg now, then if you keep adding more and more milk, then your flavor is gonna be diluted. So always season at the end. Let's flip this over, check our bread. Oh yeah, perfect. Beautiful, nice toast. You kind of want this on the thinner side because as it cools, it will thicken. And you don't want this stuff to be like a gummy paste. I think every part of my body is shaking when I whisk.
It looks
belly,
like it.
My belly, my hips, everything. Touch more half and half. And that is looking good right there. Little pinch of salt and pepper. This is kind of like just a 50-50 blend. And then, let's go on the palm. About that much nutmeg. Want to go light? Go light, then you can always add if you like it. So many people omit it, and I'm the same way. But there you go, there's your bechamel, pure and through. Probably needs a hair more salt, if you ask me. Alrighty, we got some sliced ham here, kind of like deli sliced, just a little bit thicker than normal. I'm going to quickly warm this up on the griddle. About as fast as you can put it down, just to take that coldness off. Got a little Dijon mustard. A little of that bechamel. I would caution about going too thick, but also this is traditionally eaten with a fork and knife. So if you get crazy, carried away, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Come back in with a little gruyere cheese. Just a touch of Parmesan. Same thing with the top layer. Now you can see why I wanted a little bit of crusty bread. I just think it just adds to it. And then right on top, we're going to repeat the bechamel. This is going to be the glue for the cheese. And then come back in here. Generously add some gruyere, touch of parm, well, I hit it just right on that parm. There we go. All right, for the Croque Madame, I'm just checking my temperatures on my griddle. Doing about 350 right here. I'm gonna turn the sides up a little bit. I like to cook my eggs in butter. Plus, it's a telltale sign to see how hot your griddle is. Probably a hair on the hot side, but I think we're gonna be fine. Keep that lid open, it's gonna lose a lot of heat fast. Just a little salt and pepper. And while the egg's cooking, nice pat of butter right there. Nice pat of butter right here. I just got it directly over the burners. Close the lid a little bit. Turn up that heat. And let that melt. Beautiful sunny side up egg. Now they've got nice and toasty and that bottom's got nice and crispy. I'm gonna take these and transfer them to an oven. A lot of you guys have pizza ovens. This is a great way to use your pizza oven outdoors. There's plenty of different ones, gas, pellet, wood, you name it. So we're just gonna throw it in like a little toaster oven. I always preach about my toaster oven and get that top nice and golden brown. Alrighty, when they come out of your toaster, they should look something like this. Cheese nice and dark, or at least crusty. And then really the only difference is slide that egg right over top, and there's your Croque Madame. Whew. This has actually been requested several times, so I hope we did it justice. All right, guys, there you go. That's our rendition of the Croque Monsieur. You can see here that the cheese got nice and bubbly. That's kind of like one of the things that we talk about pizza on the griddle that I kind of don't do, because I really love that char on the griddle. So whether you get it from your pizza oven or your oven inside, however you get it, I think it's key to the dish. Making that sauce. Let's see how many people actually add nutmeg. I'd be curious.
I liked the nutmeg.
You did?
It added a little something.
It did, but I've never used it before at the house.
Yeah.
So it'd just be interesting how many people out there actually use it. And then, of course, you just put an egg on there, and I think that's the one I'm interested to go for right now.
They smell amazing.
Also, put it in the oven. I guess you could keep it on the griddle and dome it. You're not going to get the browning effect. But it does take a while for that heat to penetrate, especially coming through and melting those cheeses. Oh, yeah.
It's good. I can always tell when something's amazing.
All right.
That's a big bite. I feel like I'm in France.
Oh, jeez. I actually could understand why soft bread would work, but this is just a personal preference. I wanted that rustic, crunchy style bread just because I thought that
It's a nice added texture.
I thought so. I thought so. With the gruyere, as much as you put on there, the bechamel. I mean, this is a dang good sandwich.
It is good.
Bon voyage.
I don't think that was it. Well,
Bon
appetit. I don't think.
All right, guys, there you go. There's two different additions to the griddle. Hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Really, it's one of those things where you can really create your own. You can switch up the cheeses if you want to. You can add a lot of things to it. What's interesting is right after this, I'm doing two videos today on pellets and pits. We're going to be doing a Kentucky hot brown. Since so much of that is oven based, I thought I'd put that on pellets and pits because it's not that much griddle related, but it's very similar to this. We're gonna do a Mornay sauce. The same bechamel we just did, add cheese, make some Mornay sauce. Some thick cut bacon. Instead of the ham, we're doing turkey, and then some fresh cut tomato. It should be fantastic. So if you guys want to check out that recipe, head over to Pellets and Pits. You guys can see that. Very similar to this, but this is outstanding. It's really not a sandwich style that you would just pick up and eat, but you could. I guess we're going to, aren't we? All right, guys, there you go. If you guys are interested, hit that join button down below. It's a membership program. We thank each and every one of you for taking time for doing so. Check us out on the Griddle Group on Facebook, where this has been highly requested several times. Glad we got a chance to do it. It's a fantastic way to do it, especially utilizing your outdoor equipment. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Peace. Yeah, this is pretty good.
That's good. I almost like this one better.